Billboard have decided to release a mega list of the 500 greatest pop songs of all time. A huge task, but I thought it would be fun to have a look at their list and react to some of these picks that they've got on there. I'm not going to do every single track. That would be boring as hell, and you'd be sitting here watching me for about 3 hours talking about every single song. But their criteria essentially is basically if it's recognizable, if it charted on Billboard specifically, so it's going to be very American based, of course, then it constitutes as being worthy of this list. It can be rock, it can be pop, it can be R&B, it can be hip hop. Aesthetically, it doesn't matter. If it's a recognizable, I know what this song is, it makes me have fun, I think it's catchy, yada yada yada, they explain it all on the thing, then it makes the list. So yeah, I never really do these kinds of videos, but I thought this one would be quite fun, and if it's interesting to people, I can do more like this in the future, because we've seen some very shaky and questionable lists recently from the likes of Rolling Stone and stuff. So yeah, let's just see how this one goes. Hopefully you enjoy it. I totally get the average person is going to be absolutely fine with the Macarena being on a list like this. But for me, aside from being forced to dance to it at parties and weddings and things, I have no real reason to listen to this or really get much out of it. Yeah. Roddy Ricch, The Box, 473. Okay, didn't expect to see this, but this was a huge song. I mean, this was massive. It's one of the biggest songs of the 2020 so far, so I get why it would be here. I like aspects of the track. I've always been a bit mediocre on... I've been mediocre? I mean, you decide that for yourself, but I've always found the just really, really mediocre and harsh on the ears, but there are catchy elements to this track that I do like. But yeah, 500 all time. I suppose, 473 isn't that high. I just don't know if I like it that much. This should be way higher. What the hell, man? Luther Vandross, Never Too Much. What a classic. What a great song. I'd have this in top 100 easily. But good to see it there. I just would, I think this has got to be higher. I do really like this era of Nelly Furtado, I've got to say. When Timbaland and Nelly collided, it was only good things. I've got to be honest, Promiscuous is a good track. I feel like Say It Right might deserve to be higher than this. But otherwise, I would be, I'm more than happy with seeing this on here. Kid Laroi and Justin Bieber, Stay. Yeah, I've got to say, I've grown to like this song a lot more over time. I definitely think it's worthy of being on this list. It was huge as well, so it definitely constitutes as being considered. But yeah, I think it's catchy. I think it's kind of got a bit of a weird Drain Gang element to it, like a pop version of that. Shout out to Harry who brought that to my attention and made me realise that is so true. But regardless, I think it's a really good track. Let's just keep going through. Clean Bandit, Rather Be. Jess Glynne, probably the only thing by Jess Glynne I'd ever actively listen to, because I just think she makes such basic lyrical music that's just so lowest common denominator. But I actually do think this track is actually really quite good. It's aged well too. I mean, it's getting quite old now, like it's coming up to 10 years, but I think it's aged well. Rack City, give over. Who put this here? Who is deciding that Rack City is one of the greatest pop songs of all time? Nobody listens to that and thinks that. Like, it's just like, it was kind of funny for a little bit, Come on, man. Finally, it happened to me right in front of the face, and it started. I mean, we better be seeing a lot of Stevie on this list in terms of pop music, in terms of essential music over the years. Ebony and Ivory, I'm not counting that, but there's so much brilliance to what Stevie's done. I guess it just depends on how high some of his tracks charted, depending on, oh god, I've got something in my eye, fucking hell, depending on whether it charted high enough to be constituted as important music, according to how Billboard are ranking it, not my opinion there. Then I think we might not see a load of Stevie. But some of the songs in the Key of Life era and Innovisions era, this is a great Stevie track, by the way, My Sherry and More, don't get it twisted. But I just hope we see more than just, the odd song. Give Me Everything by Pitbull, Neo, Afrojack. I guess Pitbull is going to make it on this list, and that's fine. Mr. Worldwide, he's got it. Fireball, he's got it. He's got it. He's got it. He's the guy. But I don't think this song should be here. I don't rate it. I don't rate it. I heard it too much. Feel For You by Shaka Khan. If you've seen my 80s tier list, you'll know how much I like the song and how much I like Shaka Khan. But this just feels a bit low. Like 395 is one place higher than Give Me Everything by Neo and Pitbull. Is that right? Is that okay? I'm not okay. Country Grammar by Nelly is one place higher than that. These are also higher than Stevie Wonder too. Look, man, I try not to get mad at lists, but sometimes we just can't not speak on this. Tom Jones, it's not unusual. This sounds like something like a British person would have on their list. I didn't realise he was that big over in America that this would make it onto this list, to be honest with you. It's fine, I guess. Just didn't expect that. Oh, come on. It's just getting silly now. Some of these tracks are getting silly. Silly. Come on. No. Suspicious Minds by Elvis. Fair play. I guess it's a better pick than some of his other tracks. Raspberry Brace. 362. Fair. Better be seeing more Prince, though. Like I say, similar with Stevie. I don't want that to be the last of it. Straight Up by Paul Abdul. This is an underrated track. I don't see many people talk about it anymore. Yeah, I like this track. I like it. I like a few of Paul Abdul's songs, actually. Vibology, too. I wouldn't mind seeing that on this list. That's a great track. Get Low. Yeah. To the Window, to the Wall. Yeah. Oh, we certainly love to see this. Slide by Frank Ocean, Migos, and Calvin Harris. We love to see it. We really do. What a song that is. We love to see it. Losing My Religion, we love to see it. R.E.M., what a track this is. That's me in the corner. I'm okay with Glamorous too. I don't think it's higher than the last two I just mentioned though. It ain't that high up. But I'm okay with that. I think it's a good song. Oh, That Lady by Isley Brothers. Okay, yeah. Oh, they made this for me. They knew I was reading this list. Isley Brothers in the top 500 of all time. I love to see that. I did not know it peaked so high though. Number 6, didn't know that. What a track. Look, I'm not going to pretend that I'm amazed by every single song here, but there's been some really good tracks that I've skipped over, like Best of My Love by The Emotions or Walking on Broken Glass by Annie Lennox. And then we get to Lil Uzi Vert, XO Tour Life. That track is just on another level for me in terms of atmosphere. It just creates something I've never really heard in a song before. It just can't be replicated, even by Uzi. Incredible song. I get it's not quite for everybody, but I think it's amazing. Someone Like You by Adele, fair enough. Yeah, I can't really argue with that. I think you're going to kind of have to include those kinds of tracks from Adele because of how big they were. It kind of just changed the course of, popular music at the time. Like, she kind of just came through at a time where everything was starting to get clubby and banging and dancey and, over the top beats and booms and bah. She kind of came through and was like, look guys, I can sing. Can you sing? No. I can though. Paramore, Still Into You. I'm okay with this. It's not like one of my favourite Paramore songs. If you've seen my Paramore top 10, you would know that. Sly and the Family Stone. I'm more than happy to see that. Bulletproof by LaRue. Yeah. Great track. Maybe it would even have this higher, actually. Some of the ones I've raved about so far, by the way, I would absolutely have them higher. I think some of these are really low down. Oh, what a track, though. I feel like throughout life, I've accidentally underrated this song. But I was listening to it recently. I was like, man, this is a vibe. What a track. Yes. Oh, Pointer Sisters, I'm so excited. I bet this will probably be the only Pointer Sisters track on here. It shouldn't be. There's lots of great Pointer Sisters songs that don't get talked about as much. Oh, Frank Ocean, Think About You? Really? Yeah, love to see that. Again, it didn't chart that high, so it didn't really pop up in my brain when I was about to read this list. But of course, the charting positions don't necessarily matter. And I think they've got this one right, actually. It is a lot higher than some tracks that charted at like number 3, number 2. And sold more. I like that they're not necessarily just ranking it based on that. They're taking into account that actually this song is frigging great. And it should be higher than Pitbull, because why would it not be? So I like that they're doing that. Sam Smith, Disclosure, Latch. Wow, what a track. Again, huge particularly in the UK. This was a big era. Disclosure kind of changed the game a little bit with their production style. They weren't totally original. They were getting, you know, influence from other sources, of course. But I do think their style and the vocal features that they incorporated, I think, had a massive influence. I probably should do a video on them one day just on their own. Oh, yes! Love to see this one. One of my favourite songs of all time. Also, above was Modern Love by David Bowie. Love to see that. Psy, Gangnam Style. I mean, yeah, fair enough. Put Your Records On by Corinne Bailey Rae. Would anyone know her name if you didn't read it? Not to say that the song's bad. Beck, Loser. Yeah. Dancing in the Dark. Great track. Great track. Great track. Oh, You Make My Dreams by Oates and Hall. Hall and Oates. Oates and Hall. That's not what they're called. Hall and Oates. Just Like Heaven, The Cure. Again, this is what I'm saying. The charting positions are deceiving because over time this has gained more love and has aged immaculately. So it really should be higher than some of the other songs. It's totally justifiable. You might not know it by name immediately, but by the quality of the song, it's fantastic. I mean, Bad Habit this high as well. It feels probably too high, but I'm taking this one. I think this is an incredible track. I mean, look at when it peaked at number one. It's just about a year ago, and they're already putting it this high. I'll take it. I'm happy with that. But that's crazy how high it is. One more time, Daft Punk, Get In. Yeah, what a track. See a Chandelier, another good track. Run DMC, It's Tricky. Oh, we got some bangers here. ABC, The Jackson 5. Say So, Doja Cat. Okay, that's pretty high too, but I think it's a good track. Dexy's Midnight Runners, Come On Eileen, yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, this is a great track. I feel like any younger people that only know this through the sample of Paint the Town Red by Doja Cat needs to go back to the original because this is a fantastic song. Borderline by Madonna. Yes! Yes! What a track. What a track. One of her best songs ever. Little Red Corvette. Prince. I'm taking that. I said I wanted to see more Prince. Gin and Juice, that probably is the best Snoop Dogg song ever. So that's fine. Born This Way, Gaga, can't really argue with it. Paper Planes, MIA. Didn't think I'd see this one. But yeah, sure. Good song. Good song. Very high up. Pharrell, Daft Punk, Get Lucky, sure. As It Was, Harry Styles. Yeah, I do like it. I think this is too high. If you're going to have it on here, I think it's somewhere in the 400s would be more than justified. I think pretty close to the top 100 now. And I just don't think when I'm thinking of the best of all time, I'm including Harry Styles. I Can't Get No Satisfaction, Rolling Stones. Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised actually we haven't seen more songs of this era actually pop up. I know the Beach Boys were a little bit higher up in like the one something or other. But yeah, like The Who or any of those kinds of bands, I mean, that was a crazy era. The British Invasion, maybe they'll be more higher up, but yeah, I'd have expected more of this ilk on this list. All right, we're in the top 100 now, right? And if you're going to feel out of place, you're going to feel even more out of place than you did before, because to be top 100 of all time is a pretty big statement. And there is no way on God's green earth, on Jesus's land, on the Virgin Mary's life, that this is top 100 pop music of all time. There just isn't. Get this off the list. It shouldn't even be in the 500. No. And that's not even me trying to be like a hater of Justin Bieber. I was saying earlier that I like the Kid Laroi track. That's a good song. So it's not being like, you know, an older boomer person that just hates Bieber for no reason. No, this just is not in the list. Get it away. Why is that here? Janet Jackson, kind of surprised we haven't seen more Janet actually. There has been a few tracks, but in America particularly, she had it. She had it on lock. Sinead O'Connor, Nothing Compares to You. What Makes You Beautiful? One Direction. Again, not top. Get it out of the top 100. This is not top 100. See, these songs are going to stick out like a sore thumb now. Yes, absolutely. Keep this here. This is higher than Blinding Lights, by the way, which is absolutely crazy. But I'm all for it. I'm all for it being high. I love that track. Thank You Next, Ariana Grande. Come on, what are we doing? This is not 66 all time. Get out of here, man. Get out of here. Girls Just Want to Have Fun, sure. Stand By Me, Benny King. Great track. Great track. Bop. Bop. Am I from a different planet or something? Where are these songs in the top 100? I just don't. I'm not getting. This one seems high on kind of first glance, but I don't mind it. I think this has aged incredibly well. I think it is truly the best Katy Perry song ever, and it sounds so dreamy, and the production is really top notch. I'm more than happy with that. Ain't No Mountain High Enough, what a track. Wanna Be by Spice Girls, fair enough. Gloria Gaynor, I Will Survive, sure. Oh, Let's Stay Together by Al Green? Yes! I'm really happy this is here. It didn't really cross my mind that we'd get some Al Green on this list, actually. And it might be one of the only Al Green songs on here, but I am happy he has made it this high. Alright, we're at the top 20. We've just had Tears for Fears and Aretha Franklin just miss out. Crazy stuff, man. Let's see the top 20. Let's just run through it from start to end, because I think it might be quite good to do that. TLC No Scrubs, I like it. I think it's a little overrated. Be My Baby, the Ronettes, incredible track. Yeah, Crazy in Love, can't really argue with that placement. Not my favourite Beyonce song by any means, but I can't really argue too much with it. The sample of that track is incredible, by the way. Are You My Woman? What a song. Dreams by Fleetwood Mac, I think, yeah, probably the fact that it's had a bit of a renaissance over the past few years has pushed it this high up. It's a great song, but I think that helps it on this list. September, of course. Fantasy by Mariah Carey. Now, okay, if I were making my own list, right, this would be about this high for me. Like, I genuinely would put it this high. I think this is truly one of the best pop songs ever. The Genius of Love sample is perfect. I would have this high. I really would. Let's see if there's any others though. Hey Ya by Outkast. I mean, it's just so much fun. It's so nostalgic. I've got a soft spot for Outkast generally. And I can't really argue with this track being on this list. I just don't know if this is a bit too high. I don't think it should be this high. Super Bass, again, I think this is a good track. I think it's a little too high though, because I could I mean, when we're talking like hip hop, how much hip hop is going to be in the top 20? And if you're thinking like, why, their definition of that would then basically be like, this is one of the best hip hop songs of all time, when you think of it like that. Is it that good? Probably not really. Baby One More Time, I do like the song. It just feels like it goes on forever. And Britney at her peak was just like game changing. But again, I don't know if I'd have it this high. I really don't think I would. In terms of influence, sure, yeah, Britney as an artist, but like Toxic was like number 53 or something. Is this better than Toxic? I don't see it. Kiss by Prince and the Revolution, yeah, again, would it be this high compared to some of Prince's other tracks? I mean, was When Doves Cry even on this list? I don't even know if I saw it. Take Me With You, I Would Die For You. Were they on this list? Purple Rain? Yeah, I kind of mad. I don't know if I saw those songs. I Want to Hold Your Hands. Not this high. Again, right artist, but possibly wrong song. Is this in the top 10 pop songs of all time? Is it really? It's kind of corny, to be honest with you. I would not have it this high. Tupac, yeah, sure. California Love, you can see why. Okay, this is probably the highest hip-hop song then of all time, according to them. Fair play. I think that's a little overhyped. Call Me Maybe, great track. Can't really argue too much about that one. Can't argue with Billie Jean either. Yeah, if you've seen my Michael Jackson list, you'd know what I would have as my highest Michael Jackson song. It wouldn't be Billie Jean, but sure. What a track this is. Madonna, Like a Prayer, fantastic song. Kind of can't argue with any Madonna in the top 10. Similarly with MJ, you're going to have both of those in the top 10 really. Since You've Been Gone by Kelly Clarkson, I rate the song, I do, but this is not top 5 all time. There's no way in any world that a Kelly Clarkson song could be top 5 of all time of anything. It's a good song, but like, come on. That's just ridiculous to me. I like this song too, but this is kind of ridiculous. 4th for I Want It That Way. I really do like it, but I can't put this in top 5 all time. Temptations, My Girl. Yeah, what a track. My girl, my girl. Don't mind this one either. I think, again, similarly with Fantasy, I would probably have this thereabouts somewhere for me personally. Maybe not top 3, but yeah, I think I can't really argue too much with that. Dancing Queen, okay. In fact, looking back, I'm trying to think of how much ABBA even made it on this list. Not a great amount, to be honest with you. But that's a cool one to see at number 2. And number 1 is I Want to Dance With Somebody by Whitney Houston. So, yeah, fair play. I didn't know it was Who Loves Me in brackets. Never knew that. But what a track. What a track. The top 3 here is actually really good. I can't really deny this top 3 at all. Yeah, fair play. Because this actually feels like something you'd expect to see like more in the UK. Because I feel like the UK absolutely adore this track. And ABBA in general. So it does feel less American to see these two so high up. But what you could have had at number 1... out of everything ever, I Want to Dance With Somebody is not a bad idea, not a bad pick, really, really not at all. Yeah, I'm more than okay with it. I personally prefer How Will I Know, though. That was in like the 200s. I would have that higher than this song, but I totally get why other people would have this higher up than I Want to Dance With Somebody. Sorry, than the other track that I mentioned, sorry. Totally just really oozes so much fun. It's so carefree. Yeah, you can't really deny it. So there we have it. There we have it. The greatest song of all time, according to Billboard, in the pop world, is I Want to Dance With Somebody. It was a good list. It was really good to see a lot of great tracks pop up that I wasn't quite expecting. There were some that I was a bit like, okay, I'm not sure why this is here. It's all going to be subjective though. I'm just one person. This was written by like God knows how many people who had to kind of come together to conclude on certain picks and things. It must have been hard. I could always consider making my own list one day to kind of see what mine would look like compared to others. We shall see. That's going to be a big thing to work on though. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on this though. Thank you for watching. I hope you stuck around till the end. Hopefully you've had a good time watching this. A little bit different from me on this channel, but I've got a bit of time off work, so I thought why not just work on something a bit more different and exciting. Hopefully you had a good time. Have a good day. Subscribe, check out my Patreon as well, and goodbye.